done this before. Maybe I have, like in the olden days. You know, when YouTubers, like, they have a conversation and like they're putting their makeup on. I thought I'd give it a go. Hello, my wonderful friends. It's so nice to be back and to see you. It's been a while, I feel like, since we kind of sat down and had a little chat, and I haven't been doing something. Do you know what I mean? Over the summer, obviously, we went to Disney. We did all the Disney vlogs, which are here if you want to go and watch them, which is fantastic. We had an amazing time. And then we had Paris. Can you guess where we are? Vlogs there if you want to go and check it out, which again was amazing. I think it's just all been very busy with summer holidays and recovering from Disney, recovering from Paris and all that jazz. So we can have a little chat together. I asked you if you had any questions for me over on Hidden Gems on Instagram. Hidden Gems is my broadcast channel where you just get like a little bit more exclusive stuff and like a bit more kept up to date. It's completely free to join. So yeah, it would be great to have you over there if you want to join. How cute is this? This is actually Daisy's. It's a little Daisy Duck like headband thingy. So yeah, I thought we could answer some of your questions and catch up, and I also thought that I would share with you like how I'm feeling about almost 10 years on the internet. If you're interested in any of the products I'm using, I'll write them down below. But this is a new moisturiser that I've got, which is Youth to the People. I started to become really sensitive and allergic to a lot of things, but it seems that this Youth to the People stuff doesn't bring me out. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, but I'm not enjoying the price point. You're better already. Let's have a look at your questiones. One of the first questions is, how are you doing? Which is so nice. Thank you for asking. I'm okay. There's been a lot going on, but I'm fine. I have been suffering with migraines and vertigo, and the way I keep on top of that is by having Botox, which I have to pay for privately, and massages. But my masseuse, who I normally see, she can't see me until October. So Shaun has been massaging my neck because my neck and my head and my eyes, they just get so tense from like being in the wheelchair, working on my phone, working on my laptop, filming. It all takes like a massive toll on my body. So that's how I keep on top of it. And I also wear a retainer at night that stops me from grinding my teeth because I'm a terrible grinder. But another question I had is like, what videos have you got planned? And like, I feel like I have come to a weird moment in my YouTube career. Like, I've nearly been doing this 10 years and I've had an amazing time and I have achieved like some awesome things. But I feel like the way people watch content and consume content and what people want to see has definitely changed since I started in 2015. Like in 2015, it was all about how-tos. With the dawn of AI, people can just find that stuff now really, really easily. Whereas I think what AI can't do is be a person, have the personality, have the entertainment, be that friend online, on the screen, in your living room. So I feel like Wheelsnoheels is probably going to be taking a little bit of a change. I did the amazing like how-to videos, how to transfer and how to buy a wheelchair and all of those things, which still do really well and still people watch them and find them really useful. But like, I can't do those every week. So I do feel like I am going to be going more down the like lifestyle route and like a lot of travel. I want to do a lot of travel. I want to do more travel vlogs like you've seen with the Disney ones, the Australian ones and the Paris ones. We've got some stuff coming up which I think will be really fun for you. I want to make it more light-hearted, more entertaining. I like to have fun, and I do find it quite draining talking about the disability topics all the time. Disability news is going to stay. I don't know how people actually do two things at once, but we're trying. I have been experimenting with some videos this year. I don't know if anyone's noticed, where I have had like some lifestyle, and then we have a chat about a disability topic, and then we have a bit of lifestyle. It's hard going, and like hats off to the people that do it. But see, that's the thing as well, like there are people who are doing it who've maybe started in 2020, so they've only been doing it like 4 years. Try doing it for 10, and it does sometimes get me down. Okay, so to sum it up, basically, I do want Wheels No Heels to be a little bit more lifestyle, a little bit more fun. I want to get back into really enjoying making content again as well. I'd love to know with my travel vlogs what you really like from them, what you want to see. My sort of plans are to focus on obviously accessibility and toilets, because that's something I'd want to know. Food, because I love food, and I think quite a lot of you do too. So showing a bit of food, but not in like too much detail, and showing the sights and sort of like the traveling around. That's kind of like the things I want to focus on. So one of the next questions that I've had is, how accessible was Paris? And if you've seen the Paris vlog, we took the Eurostar, which is a little train that goes under the Channel Tunnel straight to Paris from London, which was amazing. And if you're a wheelchair user, you get sort of like a business or a premium cabin. I had some strange comments thinking like I was like really sort of like entitled, like rich, like just can get business class whenever I want. People commenting like, oh well, I wonder what this would be like if you couldn't afford business, blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, you get it. You get a premium cabin, you don't have to pay more for it. In fact, you pay less. So you pay like a wheelchair concession rate, and then you get a carer on a concession rate as well, and it's really good, a really good rate. I was really impressed with that. But yeah, there's no need to be salty. And I definitely put them right. And then what's funny is that they won't say anything. They'll just like the comment and just like jog on. By the way, I have been gatekeeping this mascara. This mascara is incredible. I don't know if you can see or if I do it any justice, but I have used mascaras from like Christian Dior, Chanel, MAC, then I've also used drugstore mascaras, and this is the best one. It's £3.50 from Primark. It's called Wonder Lash, and honestly, it's amazing. It's not waterproof, but it doesn't imprint up on here, which is one of the problems I get from a mascara. It accentuates your lashes. It comes off really easily, but it stays on all day. And it's cruelty free. Excuse me. And it's £3.50. Daisy got us onto it. I've got my mum onto it. My mum's got all her friends onto it. But yeah, it's so good. I love it. Anywho, what were we talking about? Accessibility in Paris? Anyway, how accessible was Paris? Yeah, I don't know if I am the best person to ask that question. Obviously, it is a very old European city and lots of places aren't accessible. We stayed in a really lovely small compact hotel, which was accessible and very, very central. The streets were cobblestone, but we were literally there for like a few hours. When we went to a cafe by the Eiffel Tower, there was no accessibility. We had to sit outside. But the Parisians, I was really pleasantly surprised. They were really, really nice, really accommodating. Sometimes they were a little bit too helpful, do you know what I mean? Like, we ordered taxis everywhere, and I had to break down my chair and collapse my batek to get them in every time. And like, they would see us and they would come up to us, and then they'd like start like grabbing my chair and pulling things off, and it's like, oh my god, no, don't touch that, don't touch it there. You know, when people are like too helpful, we're just like, wait, regard. When we needed to go to the toilet, because we couldn't go to the toilet in the cafe, obviously, because we couldn't get in, we could go to the toilet at the Eiffel Tower, and normally you would have to have a ticket to go into the Eiffel Tower, and then you'd have to pay to use the toilets, like €1 or something. But for wheelchair users, they just let us straight in. We didn't have to queue. They let us use the toilet for free, which, you know, to be honest with you, so they should. But I was really, you know, pleasantly surprised that they were very, very accommodating and very, very nice. What has been your most accessible holiday? You're probably not gonna like this one, but Disney. Obviously, I know that there are lots of changes going on, but just putting that aside, it was amazingly accessible. Didn't even have to think about entering anywhere, didn't have to think about access, didn't even have to think about the fact that I was disabled. I mean, I've said it before in the previous Disney videos that we did in 2019, like you kind of forget about your disability and you can just get on and enjoy your holiday. That was, yeah, really, really great. I was also really pleasantly surprised with how Australia has come along in the last sort of 10-15 years. The Aussie vlogs, if you want to go and check that out. I know it's a long way to go, but they're doing good stuff. What is the most important thing to look for in a new wheelchair? Oh, how do you answer that question? Obviously, I've got all my wheelchair buying guides here, with everything and more that you could think of before you are looking at buying a wheelchair. But definitely think of yourself. Think about your lifestyle. You know, if someone's trying to sell you some sort of massive off-road situation that goes super, super fast, but all you want to do is go around the house or around like tiny little pokey shops, then a big off-road situation is not going to be good for you. So think about your lifestyle and what you want to do and your environment. Think about how your condition may progress in time to come. If you have a degenerative condition, then you might want to future-proof that chair for how you may be in 5+ years time rather than how you are right now. And definitely do your research. Speak to people with a similar condition to you, see what kind of chairs they're using and what they've liked. Speak to people who are using a wheelchair that you may want to use. Really speak to the people. You know, sometimes the salespeople can be very pushy. They can try and sell you things that you don't need. And also make sure if you're looking at weight, you don't take the brochure weight at face value. There is no way that a whole complete wheelchair for an adult can weigh 2 kilograms. That's just not possible. So make sure you do your research. How do you cope when ableism is getting you down? This is a tricky one because it's just there all the time, every day. And I think what you have to do sometimes is have a little chat with yourself. And, you know, if it's not really directly affecting you, sometimes you have to just roll away. Let's take, for example, someone was on a flight somewhere and they got their wheelchair broken. I purposefully stayed away from flight horror stories before I went to Florida because I didn't want to attract that energy and I didn't want to scare myself. So sometimes it's okay to push it away for yourself, to protect yourself and your own mental health. Sometimes there have been stories in the press that I haven't spoken on because it might be upsetting for me, or it might affect me, or there's too many voices and too many opinions all at the same time, and sometimes it's best to let the dust settle. That's how I work. That's how I deal with that. When ableism is directing me directly, this is, how do I do it? Like this, there's a great example actually. I've got a disabled parking space, or an accessible parking space outside of my house, along with 4 spaces next to it, and then spaces all around the outside. Everybody knows each other where we live, and I recognise all the cars, but for some reason today, a big sort of like Toyota Hilux with a really fancy private number plate has decided to park in my space today. That really annoys me, because there's plenty of other parking. It's not like there's no parking at all. They could have parked in the space next to it, which was completely free, but no. They decided to park in my spot, which is no bigger, no different, no closer, no nothing. It's just, you know, one of the basic like outline ones for a property. Ableism, they don't have a badge, and that's really wound me up. How am I dealing with it? I'm trying not to look outside of the window. Try not to let it get you down. Try and concentrate on something else. Try and rise above it. And it's hard. It is hard. But hopefully that's answered how I deal with it. How do you do so much travelling? I find it expensive and exhausting. I do find it expensive and I do find it exhausting. Don't get me wrong. Our holiday for Florida was a special one for my 40th birthday. And then my Paris trip was a press trip, which meant that the OMIO, or the My Adaptability team, invited me on the trip, so they covered my fares and expenses, which was really great. But yeah, it's taken me a while to recover from it, and Florida as well. We were quite lucky that when we came back from Florida, it was the summer holidays, so we didn't need to wake up super early. We didn't have any jet lag. But yeah, it is exhausting, I'm not gonna lie. You ever need to take a day off due to extreme exhaustion? Yes, I do, and I do find myself being quite guilty of that. Like, I feel guilty taking time off, but I have learned that if I take the time off and I listen to my body then I get my energy levels back and I work better the next day. Whereas if I was to fight through it and keep on fighting, then I could start, you know, to get unwell, urine infections, pick up bugs, all of those kind of things. So it is good to listen to your body and rest, and then come back a little bit stronger the next day. That's how I find it works for me. So I've had quite a few questions about Bindi, of my little baby Booj. Her real name is Bindi, but we call her Booj. She's got so many nicknames. And she is just the sweetest, most obedient, beautiful squidgemello you've ever seen. So she's a brindle boxer and she's absolutely beautiful. We always wanted a boxer. Shaun's had a couple of boxers in Australia. I've always wanted a boxer. And we looked at getting a boxer. So we weren't advised on any particular breed. But if you are thinking of getting a dog or a puppy or something like that, definitely research the breed and see what kind of breed fits into your lifestyle. If you're very active and you're out all of the time, something like a poodle or a Labrador, or like, you know, a really high energy, or a collie, they're very intelligent. They need a lot of stimulation, and a lot of exercise. But if that's not how you see yourself being, then you might want to consider something that's a little bit smaller, or something that doesn't need a lot of exercise. Now, I'm not a dog expert. This is why I said do your own research. But yeah, definitely research the breed that will fit into your lifestyle. Boxers are great. They're bouncy, they're playful, they're funny, they're entertaining. They are high energy. They do need a lot of exercise, although I don't find that Bindi needs that much exercise, especially now she's getting older. And they're great family dogs. So yeah, you could think about, you know, do you want a dog that's really good with children and families, or do you not need something like that? So yeah, I mean, we weren't advised on what kind of dog to get, but for anyone, whether you're disabled or not, when you're choosing a dog, it's a huge commitment. So you really want to make sure you do your research. A bit like getting a wheelchair. Do your research for sure. And then someone asked me, how did I train Bindi to walk next to my wheelchair? I don't know if we like specifically trained her to walk next to my wheelchair. Shaun used to cycle with her when she was younger. She can't do it anymore, bless her little hips. So she was really, really good at going next to him in the bike. I don't hold on to her when I'm on my Batek. I wouldn't take her out on my own because she is so strong. Another thing to consider if you're getting a dog, like how strong they are. But boxers, for their size, are one of the strongest dogs. And she's really strong. She can pull you over. In fact, I think she has pulled me over. If anyone's thinking of getting a dog, let me know what you're thinking of getting. I absolutely love doggies. I love puppies. They're my favourite things ever. Ooh. Anyway, this video has been going on for like 30 minutes. I hope that the catch-up's been good. I would love to know like what you want to see next, having learnt like the changes that I want to do. Yeah, I think weekly vlogs is the way to go. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one.